Hey, good morning. How y'all doing? It is Well Red Beard. It is a damn fine day to talk about a book, and we are here for a book review today. We are going to talk about Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. This is Jason Rekulak's second novel. I was gifted this for Christmas, and one thing I love about it is that my wife often doesn't buy me books because she doesn't know what I have. But this one was fresh on the horror hardcover shelf at Barnes and Noble, I believe Barnes and Noble, and she picked it up. I wasn't aware of the book. I read the book immediately. I loved the book, so it's got a little bit more special meaning to me, I guess, because of that, because it was a gift, and I dug the absolute hell out of it. So I think I'm at 4 stars on this. It is. Did I already say this? It's Jason's second novel. I have since read Jason's first novel, which is not horror. Still enjoyable. I'll get into that one some time down the road. But yeah, Hidden Pictures, Jason Rekulak. Definitely horror. Stephen King says, I read Hidden Pictures and loved it. The language is straightforward. The surprise is really surprise. And it has that hard to achieve propulsiveness that won't let you put it down. And the pictures are terrific. And yes, this book has pictures. And yes, I have recently talked about how I do not mind something that helps propel the page turningness, the page turnability of a book along. And this has pictures. It has splash pages with art. And we are using art to communicate here from our young protagonists' imaginary friend. Imaginary friends, a la ghosts, whatever that present or possession or that presents itself in the format of an imaginary friend is up there in my probably top 5 subgenres of horror. I absolutely love that shit, going all the way back to Amityville and how, the demonic / haunting presence there kind of originally early on presented itself as an imaginary friend. I love that shit. It creeps me out. My daughter had an imaginary friend when she was young, and I often wonder how real that was to her, but yeah, so we've got a, you know what? Let's read the synopsis. How about that? We'll read the synopsis. But I think I already said this. I was 4 stars on this one. I really, really liked this book, and so much so that I immediately looked for his other work and was kind of depressed to see that there was only one, but bought it, and I've already read it. And I read this in January, so that tells you how much I liked it. But all right, fresh out of rehab, Mallory Quinn takes a job in the affluent suburb of Springbrook, New Jersey, as a babysitter for Ted and Caroline Maxwell. She is to look after their 5-year-old son, Teddy. Mallory immediately loves this new job. She lives in the Maxwell's pool house, goes on nightly runs, and has the stability she craves. And she sincerely bonds with Teddy, a sweet, shy boy who is never without his sketchbook and pencil. His drawings of the usual fare, trees, rabbits, balloons. His drawings are of the usual fare. But one day he draws something different, a man in a forest dragging a woman's lifeless body. As the days pass, Teddy's artwork becomes more sinister, and his stick figures evolve into more complex, lifelike sketches well beyond the ability of any 5-year-old. Mallory begins to suspect these are glimpses of an unsolved murder from long ago, perhaps relayed by a supernatural force lingering in the forest behind the Maxwell's house. With help from a handsome landscaper, well, the landscaper is always handsome, isn't he? And an eccentric neighbor, Mallory sets out to decipher the images and save Teddy while coming to terms with a tragedy in her own past before it's too late. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Again, The number one thing that we can take from Stephen King's blurb here is the propulsiveness. This is a page turner, in my opinion, and I dug the absolute hell out of it. Again, it's got a kind of a nice side story piece of a girl coming out of rehab, and coming to terms with that, and what the stereotypes are about people trying to get right afterwards, trying to get straight, do normal things, have a job. I mean, every little problem that happens, can you imagine um, being known as a past drug addict and then starting to experience weird and creepy and unexplainable things, and everyone around you points at your drug usage. So there's this underlying theme of that. It's also got, again, a cool look at what that would be like. And but ultimately, this thing is so much more than the synopsis gives. You do not expect the level of twist that's in this, the level of um, unknown, the level of what actually is going on here with this affluent couple and their child. And it's when you get that information, it is a mesmerizing shock. It is ridiculous how, I guess, the build up to it, and when it happens, I didn't see it coming, and it's pretty damn awesome. So I really like this book. I mean, I don't, after everything I just said, I don't 5-star like it, but I never thought of anything less than 4 for this book. So really enjoyed it. Definitely worth your time. Again, we'll come back and talk about Rekulak's first novel, which was The Invisible Fortress. Completely unrelated to this, completely different than this. But what I will say is both books have this page turnability, page turn, yeah, page turnability that that is, I guess, hard to reproduce. So Grady Hendrix is on the back here. I like to read blurbs from other people that I've read, but Grady Hendrix says Hidden Pictures isn't a ghost story. It's a scalpel that slices into our smug sense of self-satisfaction. Smug sense of self-satisfaction. Say that 5 times fast. So deeply that it hits bone. A perfect summer thriller, complete with vengeful spirits, class warfare, and it even has pictures. What more could you want? It has pictures. Yeah, that's it. This is Hidden Pictures. I am 4 stars on this one. Jason Rekulak. This is Well Read Beard. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you are enjoying all your books. All of them. All of them as much as I am. If not, you are reading the wrong damn books.